Hi everyone, Azriel here, and today I'm out in the Alberta Badlands doing my first impressions on the Canon EOS IX Lite. I think what makes this a really interesting film camera is that it's an APS SLR, and when I found out that there were APS SLRs, I immediately bought one on eBay. So because it's an SLR, it offers everything that a regular 35mm camera does. It also does some things that just APS does, like the ability to change your frames ratio. I haven't tested the camera and the film is expired, so this should be an interesting day. I already got some batteries in it and I know that it fires. So the next thing to do is just toss some film in it. That sounded rough. Okay, I'm gonna get started now. Hey buddy, what's going on? You're adorable. That is unreal. So as I mentioned before, I'm in the Alberta Badlands, and more specifically, I'm in Dorothy, Alberta, which is a tiny little hamlet. I guess you could consider it a ghost town, but everything here is so well kept. The residents keep this church and the other one like in tip-top condition. One thing you might find amazing is that the doors to these churches are just unlocked. I just walked right in, there's a guest book. It's really that small town Alberta mentality that I love to come out and experience. I find it really fascinating that these two churches, which aren't the same kind of church, are side by side. I mean, they are quite literally like less than 100 feet apart. It's pretty fascinating when you think about it. I've actually been here before, right around the time that they were renovated. So I got to see them in their unfinished state. And I gotta say, it's really amazing what they've done with these places and restoring them. I'm not a religious man, but I think I'm gonna legitimately sit here for just a minute and soak it all in and chill out before I move on. I have to remind myself when I'm out here and I'm photographing and I'm taking video and I'm thinking about 100 things that I actually came out here to slow down. So that's what I'm doing right now, just taking a minute. I was just using a roll of Fuji and now I'm using a roll of Kodak Advantix. There's a couple cabins here that are also part of the historical site. Many of these items were donated by people who just want to see the historic site do well. It smells amazing in here. I know some people don't like the smell, but man, I just love it. The problem I have in here is it's super dark. Even at f4.5, it's 1/8 of a second at ISO 200. last time I was in here. Giant spider. Biggest spider I ever seen in my life. This is gonna be super dark and I might be able to get 1 or 2 shots out of this, but that's about all. Having the door open will definitely help. I've got to say, that grain elevator has seen better days. I don't remember it missing the top last time I was here. It must have caved in. I'm absolutely just fascinated by how different the landscape can change. Alberta's got it all. Alberta's got mountains, foothills. It's got badlands, swamplands. This is their community hall. Like I said, everything is accessible except for their pianos. So I made a small boo-boo. The case said 25, but the film canister was actually only 15. So I'm out of film. I only brought the 2 rolls with me, and I thought that was going to be too much. Okay guys, it's later in the day. I went home to back up my files, and now I'm at the local 1-hour photo to have my film developed. It's been a while since I've had APS film developed. I'm pretty sure that they still develop APS film, though I can't be certain. This is the one time where I'd prefer to take it to a lab rather than develop it at home, because the idea with APS film is that it winds back into the canister and you get this cataloging system and all that kind of jazz. But that being said, we'll see if they still do it.
How many copies would you like?
Just one set of each, yeah.
Matte or gloss?
Matte.
Cool. Care for a white border around the outside?
No thanks.
Next big question, when would you like to pick these up?
Tonight's great, tomorrow's fine too.
Might not be able to do tonight, but we can definitely do tomorrow.
Sure.
Any particular time you think you'd be in?
Before noon?
We might be able to do at noon.
Okay. Okay, London Drugs does indeed still develop APS film. Not really a 1-hour photo though. It's not going to be ready until tomorrow at noon. I picked up my photos the next day, and the first thing that I noticed when I went through them is that the Kodak Advantix was a black and white film. Not a true black and white, a C41 process like Ilford's XP2 Super. It was grainy and faded, but I did get a few decent photos from the roll. The first one, shot with Fujifilm Nexia, they turned out fantastic. Virtually no signs of aging. How does the IX Lite stack up? As a camera on its own, as decent as any other Canon SLR. Most of the buttons are where you'd expect them to be. Though I'm not too sure about this dial, I found it hard to grip while I had the camera to my eye. There's also a bunch of features I didn't bother with, like timestamp and frame ratios. I'm going to shoot with this camera some more before deciding, but I might keep it around. Because of its size, it'd be super easy to pack it with my Canon 5D Mark II. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay classic.